This video is brought to you by West Coast Automotive Parts, providing quality automotive collision and replacement parts for your ride. Proudly serving the Los Angeles area. Check us out at www.westcoastautomotiveparts.com and follow us on Instagram at West Coast Automotive Parts.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're working on a 2004 Honda Civic GX sedan. We're going to be replacing the front driver's side knuckle. This video should pertain to the 2002 to 2005 Honda Civic year models, whether it be a sedan or a coupe. This knuckle replacement should apply to either or. First thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to remove the wheel. This is the front driver's side right here. So we're going to remove the wheel, and then we're going to jack up the car. And then once we jack up the car, we'll take the wheel off. Once all the lug nuts are removed from the wheel, take the wheel off, and then we're going to show you how to remove the knuckle. There's a few components you're going to have to remove in order to get the knuckle completely removed from the vehicle. So we're going to show you the steps to do this. So we're going to get into that, and just make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for 400. So let's get to doing this replacement. All right, so I got the jacking point right there ready to jack the vehicle up. Just gotta loosen the lug nuts. I'm just gonna cut to the video when I get all these loose, and then we'll jack the vehicle up. So all right, lug nuts are loose. Just gonna jack up the vehicle. So disclaimer guys, if you guys do not know how to remove a wheel or even jack up a vehicle, I highly recommend you guys consult with someone who's experienced who can do that, and who can also assist you with a knuckle replacement. Otherwise, if you guys do decide to do this at your own risk. So just a disclaimer. That's there. Just one more. All right. So we got all 4 lug nuts removed from the wheel, and the spool cover should come off. There you go. Set that aside, and then the car's jacked up, so the wheels should be able to come off now. All right, just remove the wheel, and there's the old assembly right here that we're going to show you how to remove and replace the knuckle. So let's get to it. We'll show you how to do it. All right guys, so here is the assembly. So I'm going to show you how to remove and replace front driver's side knuckle. So what you're going to do first, actually I'm just going to give you a brief summary of what you're going to have to remove in order to get this replaced. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to remove the front brake caliper right here. You're going to need a 17mm socket, and if you go back here are these 2 bolts right there and right there. Oh, right there. So I'm just going to leave it right here just to reference. 17mm socket you're going to need. Then next, you're going to remove these 2 bolts here that hold up the assembly. It is a 22mm socket you're going to need on this side, and this side is 19. That's a 19. And then you're also going to remove the brake line bracket right here. This is a 12mm you're going to need. And then on the very bottom, I'll try to show you. Can't really see. Yeah, very bottom right here. I can't really see because I just pointing the camera down. You're gonna need to remove the castle nut and the cotter pin to loosen everything. Also, you're gonna remove the brake rotor, which is being held by these 2 Phillips screws. Once you remove that, well, first you're gonna remove this, then this, and then the rest. So I'll show you guys once I get all this completely removed, and then we'll go from there. So let's get to it. All right guys, so we got the 22 and the 19. I have breaker bars right here, so I'm going to loosen this side and we should be able to loosen the top bolts first, and then we'll go from there. So I just sprayed the penetrant spray so that I could loosen the bolts more easier. So first thing that I'm going to remove is the brake line bracket right here. There's a screw right here. It's a 12mm. You're gonna use a 12mm to remove it. It's going to loosen the brake line here. So just make sure you know where you're gonna, don't lose the screw because you have to put it back. But yeah, this is gonna, so that I filmed this, I remember how to put it back. This goes right here like that. So you're just gonna remove the brake line here, set the screw aside, and then you're gonna remove the caliper, the whole complete caliper assembly. 2 bolts like I mentioned. Once this goes off, just gonna seat it probably right over here. This is the empty area. Makes sense for me to just seat it right there. Sometimes you could just hang it with the tie down right here so it doesn't go anywhere, but I'm just gonna do that. So next I'm gonna remove those 2 bolts. They are 17 right here. So we're gonna remove those 2 bolts, take this out, and we'll go from there. So let me just loosen that right now. Top one's off. Alright, bottom bolt we're gonna remove right now. Set that aside right here, and then this should come off. Okay. That's how you remove the caliper. Just remember when you guys place it back where it's supposed to go, line it up. I'm just gonna set it right here like I showed you guys earlier. All right, so here's the caliper. Just wanted to examine the brakes. So brakes look great, don't need to be replaced, but it's always good to double check, guys, when you do a replacement like this. Just double check all your components, your brakes, everything's good. So I'm gonna set this aside like I said. Place it right over here, nothing's gonna happen to it, so we're good right there. That's a good spot. And then next, now that we removed so we removed the brake line bracket, the caliper, we're gonna remove these Phillips screws right here to remove the rotor. So we're gonna do that right now. All right, guys, next are these 2 Phillips screws right here and right here. Loose already. There we go. Bottom one's off. Top one got took off. So now that those Phillips screws are removed, you should be able to take out the brake rotor. Normally, if it gets stuck, guys, I recommend you guys use like a mallet. I have a mallet here to show you. I brought this just in case. And what you do is just kind of tap around the area a little bit. Just, you know, not too crazy, but once you tap it, it should be able to come loose. So once that happens, you'll be able to unseat the brake rotor. Just be careful when you handle it. There you go. That's how you remove the brake rotor. And that's, now that we completed that step, this is the assembly that we're going to remove. Everything that we needed to remove first is now out. So the next step is we're gonna have to loosen these bolts here that hold up the assembly. This side, I believe it's I think it's a 22. I think it's a 22, guys. Sorry. Give me 1 second. Yeah. So it's a 22 millimeter. This side. This side, I think it's a 19. Double check. Yeah, it's a 19. So a 19 and a 22. So that's what you're gonna need to remove these two bolts that hold up the assembly. Once you remove those two, the castle nut that's on the bottom right here, there you go, right here, is what you're gonna need to remove. And then once you do that, that's where the ball joint is at, the castle nut. Sorry, I'm trying to film and show you. So once you get that removed, then this whole assembly should be able to come off. And then I'll show you the new assembly that we got. We're gonna paste that, but actually most importantly is this nut here. It's a big one. This is let me show you, it's a 32 millimeter you're gonna need. So that would be the last one you're gonna take off. So let's remove these two bolts, and then we'll go from there. I have breaker bars right here, so I'm going to loosen this side, and we should be able to loosen the top bolts first, and then we'll go from there. All right, that top part is loose now. I'm going to loosen the bottom. All right, bottom one's off. Top one's off. It's the middle. This is the big bolt that holds the whole assembly. So it's a 32 millimeter socket. I'm just going to use a power tool. And we're going to remove these now that everything is off. There you go. Then we just got to take off the castle nut on the bottom. All right, guys. So before I remove the castle nut, what I did was I'm gonna also leave the top bolt that holds up the assembly. I'm gonna leave it still on here, so that if anything happens, I'm gonna remove the castle nut from the ball joint. All right, guys. So one more thing. There's other models that I forgot which model has it, but there is another model that does have ABS. So when you do remove the whole assembly and the brake line bracket here, like a ABS plug, I think it's like around here. So it's like it's just a plug with a tab. You just have to disconnect it. It's around here in this back part. Once you do that, just remove this too, and then follow the other steps that we're doing here in this installation video. You should be good. Just wanted to mention that because this car doesn't have the ABS plug. So just to make sure you guys remove that too when you're doing this replacement. So just want to give you a heads up. All right, so just make sure you have this bolt holding the assembly up. And then I'm gonna get to removing the castle nut here with the power tool, 17 millimeter socket you're gonna remove it with, and go from there. So try to do that now. Probably be able to reach. Probably just gonna use a breaker bar. So let's do that. All right, so you see right here is a castle nut. It's got a hold on. Yeah, so you see right here is a castle nut. This is the cotter pin that we're going to try to take out. So just get like a plier, kind of just bend back the cotter pin to loosen it. That. There you go. So that it could come out. Once you have that kind of straightened out. Sorry guys, I'm trying to film this and do it at the same time, one hand. Just gotta bend this back. A second here. Yeah, it should come out right now. Just kind of bend it a little bit. Flathead. So remove the cotter pin. There you go. Alright. 17mm here. Off. All right guys, so I ran into a situation where the lower ball joint, it's not popping out, so I'm having an issue trying to take it out. So the thing is, I was looking at other videos. This is just from my research. I believe there's this fork tool that you use that's gonna go in between here. I'm gonna get it right now, and you're gonna hammer it and also use a jack stand to jack up the lower ball joint stud, and once you use that tool, that should pop up. So this is my whole setup. I just placed this back, and I actually removed the axle boot right here, and I just placed it back, and I turned the wheel to the left so I can get more room here, and I'm just going to use a sledgehammer and hammer the fork tool. Hopefully it's going to pop out. So I'm going to show you guys in just a bit when I get the tool, and we'll go from there. So let's do this. And again, I just want to let you guys know I'm not a professional mechanic. I'm just learning as I go. I do my own research, and I'm just sharing with you guys my experience when I work on cars. That's pretty much what it is on my channel when I do car content. I'm just learning as I go, and what I've learned through my own research, and I'm sharing with you my experience on working on these vehicles. So if you guys happen to come across this issue, let us know in the comment section. And just so you guys know, this was a mission. Like, this took some time, and I was just trying to take this whole assembly out, but it was a struggle. So I had to do some research myself, and I'm just gonna try that method with a fork tool. Hopefully it's gonna come out. But yeah, I just want to share with you guys that, yeah, doing this is not, it's pretty tough doing it the first time. So just so you guys know. So I'm gonna get the tool, and then we'll go from there. All right guys, so we got a sledgehammer. We're gonna try to knock it out. All right guys, so we got the fork tool. It's gonna hopefully remove the ball joint. This is at Harbor Freight. I'll put the link in the description. So we're gonna use this tool to remove it. Hopefully it's gonna come out. Also got the sledgehammer tool here as well. So I'll put the link in the description. And hopefully, yeah, this little ball joint's gonna come out. So let's do this. All right guys, so we tried that first method. It didn't work because obviously the angle wasn't all that great. We looked up other videos, and they angled the wheel turning to the right. So what you're gonna do, you get the fork tool, place it on this side. We did it our method here. And you get another jack. While you do that, you just jack it up this way. And while you do that, this is already loose. While you do that, the fork is going to be lifting this up like this, and you'll be able to loosen the ball joint by doing that. it's already loose. I didn't get to film that part, but I want to show you guys that method. This is how it looks like. Sorry about the sound, guys. But yeah, so when you guys do it, turn the car to the right. As you can see, this is the angle. Place the fork tool in here, right in between, like that. Then while you do that, just at that point, make sure you position the fork tool on top of the jack. Jack it up. So, and it pops out. I'll show you this right now. See, so I didn't take out this bolt yet. I put the bolt here. Still holding this up, so if anything happens. But it is loose. I'll show you guys right now when I take it out. So I'm gonna take the bolt out right here. This should all slide out. So just make sure you take out. I gotta take out the axle boot right here. So let me take that out right now. All right, so make sure you remove the bolt here, which I did remove earlier. Then once that is removed, you'll be able to remove the axle boot. There you go. It should come off. All right, I want to show you guys the old knuckle assembly right here to my left. This is what we removed just now. This is the new assembly. And if you just want to show you how the old one sounds like. The new one, as you can see, doesn't have that sound. I'm gonna flip this over. All right. So I'm gonna flip this around. Here's the old assembly from the back side. As you can see, the lower ball joint's all worn out. This is the new side, which does come with the new ball joint, which is separate. This is a complete assembly. So if you guys are looking to get it, I'll leave the link in the description for you guys to check out. And also, not only does it come with a complete assembly, it also comes with the actual axle nut, a new one to replace the old one. So it includes a new axle nut. And yeah, so here's how they both look like from the back side. And then basically when you guys install the new assembly, just reverse all the steps, and also according to the foot-pound torque spec. I'll list all the information in the description. Just make sure you guys follow that as well, and then we'll go from there. So yeah, let's install the new knuckle assembly and we'll go from there. So basically we're going to reverse all the steps and how you would put this back on, so you guys know. So make sure you lift this up so you get room. Place the ball joint back down. Just like that. You gotta kind of turn it this way because has to go in all the way, so you might have to kind of push some effort. Tap it. There you go. There we go. Back. Right now we're going to put the castle nut on. Next, make sure I put the cotter pin back, a new one. All right, cotter pins placed onto the castle nut, so everything's good here. We'll go on to the next step. All right, so we just turned back the wheel straight. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to place back the brake rotor. So we got the brake rotor right here. All right, remember when we removed the brake rotor, it was held up by these two Phillips screws. When you guys put it back, make sure it's the holes that has the additional depth here. Alright, so now that the Phillips screws are on the brake rotor, we're going to tighten it. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to tighten the bolts here, the two bolts here that hold up the assembly. Tightening up the bottom one right now. All right, next we're going to tighten the top. Okay, next we're going to place back the brake caliper. Alright guys, so now we're going to place back the brake caliper. As you can see, inspecting the brake pads, there's still good life on these brake pads, so we don't need to change it, but it's always good to double check, so that way you guys Since you guys have it removed, you know, you could just knock two birds with one stone and just replace the brakes. But in this case, the brakes are good, so I'm gonna place it back onto lined up. So here are the bolts. Just gotta tighten it now. Alright, we're gonna tighten it, 17. At the bottom. Right. Next is the brake line bracket. I'm gonna place it back. Remember in the beginning when we remove this, this goes on top of this bracket here. It's a 12mm bolt. Okay. Last but not least is the axle nut. Just make sure it's pushed in all the way. So this is a new one that comes with the assembly, so this is separate. So we got the complete assembly with the axle nut and the ball joint. So all the information will be in the description. Click on the link there. Alright, so here's the new axle nut. It is it's a 32mm socket. All the torque specs will be listed in the description, guys. Final step is if you see this indentation right here on the axle boot stud, you're gonna make a notch right here to lock it into place. So just get a flat head, and use a hammer. That's good. All right, there you go. All right, and we've completed the replacement of the front knuckle on the front driver's side for a 2004 Honda Civic GX Sedan 1.7. This should apply to 2002 to 2005 Honda Civic models. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Firm400, and we'll see you in the next video.
This video is brought to you by Davsky Air Fresheners, the industry's popular and favorite car air fresheners for enthusiasts. Exclusively available at Firm400 pop-up and online at firm400.com. Be sure to check out Davsky online at davsky.com and preview their new air freshener products for 2024.